Hi again, welcome to the second video in the series. In the last one, I read this story which was probably 20 years old, which is called Myth of the Smell. And uh, continuing in the same vein, I wanted to read a more recent piece, more maybe 5 years old, which is a really short kind of flash fiction which I entered into two competitions and got in the second place in both of them, one in Vienna and one in the UK, and which eventually came out in this anthology. This story, as the first one, was triggered by something, by an event. Usually, that's how stories are made. They come out of an image, something that sticks to your mind, maybe an event, maybe something someone said to you, and so on. And if the first piece came from this scene where people are smelling this soil and thinking it has the fragrance of the country they left, this story is called Your Camp, hashtag Your Camp, hashtag Survivor's Guilt. And it just happened a couple of years ago that I listened on Facebook. I think someone posted a song by a guy, a pop singer called Henda, which is called Sarajevska Raja, like my old gang from Sarajevo, and I was struck by how the song was kind of nostalgic, even ahead of its time. So it's producing nostalgia into the future. And also how it was trying to kind of provide a sense of guilt in the people who left Sarajevo, who are not there experiencing all the mayhem. I'll play it just a little bit before I read the story. So it goes like this. Sarajevska Raja, to gradovi Bosnu gore daleko ste bili, kad je teško Sarajevo ostavili. So you get a sense of the tune a little bit, and the video is really kind of simple, and the tune is catchy, and the song is really simple. So the story is called Your Camp, Survivor's Guilt. Your camp did not have barbed wire around it, like your uncle's, like my father's camp. No damp walls, no buckets of shit and piss emptied on the mornings when the Serbian soldiers were sober. Nor was it full of thirsty men with bad breaths and teeth like those of Dickens's bad guys. Nor did it have a rough patch on the window bars against which the prisoners scratched off the tattoos of Tito's name and the symbol of the Yugoslav National Army that was now killing everyone. They were blue, the tattoos, blue ink that pales with time, ink that makes your skin reek of nostalgia, my skin. I know that your camp was airtight and skinny, and it followed you wherever you went. The camp, yes. It was the stalking kind. It had come with you to Sweden just like another silly tourist you can't turn away because you've got something to gain. You don't know exactly what, but you trust there is something to gain. Your camp. It would follow you on your first trip back to your ruined house. It would sightsee the motherland from the car, but never get out and touch that hot ground. Your camp was made of all the failed men, of all the hurt women. You wish it had high fences and barbed wire. Then you'd know for sure you were a victim. Now there are those who can tell you you ain't seen shit. You escaped too early. They can do it in any language and with any accent but Bosnian. They can do it sounding like George W. Bush or Helmut Kohl or Boutros Boutros Ghali or John Bloody Major. Why not Gaddafi himself? You're still too stupid to get the meaning of those words. It doesn't hurt if you're too stupid to get it, right? It doesn't count if it hurts in retrospect. If your mind is like a phantom limb that only imagines there is pain, does it count? If there's no brain to register the ghostly pains, no nerves firing at will, we wondered, how come we can still, with our phantom brains and our phantom hearts, enjoy the old music, the kind we used to find boring and lame and cliched? Remember in 1992, a year before your escape, my escape, our family's double escape from Banja Luka, where, by the way, there was no resistance, just nice and clean, old-fashioned ethnic cleansing. All the way down in Sarajevo, in the midst of ruins, pop musicians sang songs and made the simplest videos. It was music that sounded nostalgic, but not always for the past. It was music that was nostalgic for the future. 'Tis weird when the foul is fair and the fair is foul, and the past kicks you from the future and the future pinches you from behind, as the bard put it. Nostalgia should come after the fact. It's supposed to thunder in those moments of loneliness in the crowds of America or Scandinavia, Malaysia or Australia, even in Pakistan. And God knows why anyone wanted to be a refugee there. You chose well, haven't you, you lucky bastard? Dear God, how those war songs were nostalgic. Not for the times destroyed by the raging war, but for the things that may happen farther down the road. This singer I'm talking about, you know him, tall and skinny with that ridiculous 80s haircut and all-star sneakers and 501 Levi's, cheap Chinese copy. He imagines a future situation in which his friend is lost because he or she escaped the war and is now safe in Paris or Belgrade. Seriously, Belgrade? What the fuck? Lost because the singer within him was left behind, and the only thing he can do now is make his friend feel guilty, for no other reason than that he or she ran away in time and survived, because he or she abandoned and betrayed Sarajevo, betrayed Bosnia, and stopped giving shit about the soul of the country. This dialogue, this meeting, this emotion produced by the song lies in the future. The singer is singing on the off chance that the song will escape the country like his friend did and strike the heart of this mysterious friend who is now walking the amazing streets of big European cities. Po Parizu, Beogradu, druže jedini, volio bih I ja sada s tobom šetati. Po Parizu, Beogradu, druže jedini, volio bih I ja sada s tobom šetati. Ovo nije tvoja borba, drugi ratuju. Ipak druže ti si tamo, a ja sam još tu. Ipak druže ti si tamo, a ja sam još tu. My only friend, I'd love to walk through Paris and Belgrade with you. This is not your fight. Others are warring. But anyway, my friend, you're there and I'm still here. Notice the repetitions. Let me stress it again. Notice the repetitions of the lines that are not even the chorus. Everything needs to be said twice or sent out twice over the radio waves. Everything needs to escape twice, just in case. The double escape. The big cities. Yeah, right. Most refugees you and I know ended up in villages and small towns. And not everyone sits in the Central Park or is gazing at the skyline of Chicago or the towers of Kuala Lumpur. But the song is effective. You and I feel guilty, though we're not that friend he sings to. We are not Sarajevska Raja, but we hear him sing, Do gradovi Bosnom gore daleko ste bili, kad je teško Sarajevo ostavili. While the cities of Bosnia were burning, you were far and away. You left Sarajevo in the toughest of times. Notice the past tense. Again, notice the past tense. As if the song was written 10 years later, not in the moment of sadness and despair. And for despair, obviously, the pop singer needs this lost friend. Despair cannot exist in solitude. It's like the French, the pair, a couple. And notice the semi-happy tone, the sad, cheerful melody, the poppiness. He obliges us, you and me, a couple of survivors, and he wants us to respond, at least for the duration of the song. So go ahead, feel that guilt, feel that nostalgia. Not the real one, not the authentic one, but the obligatory one. Do it with me. Try. It's not hard. It's a damn pop song. It's a given you'll feel something as you walk around your big city, our big city, carrying your camp everywhere, our camp, and the fading blue tattoos. Yeah, thank you so much for viewing.